Alcohol. Alcohol is the most widely used drug in America. Over 140 million people drink it regularly. It's a depressant that slows down your brain and nervous system. Once it enters your bloodstream, you feel warm, relaxed, and confident. Your thoughts quiet down and socializing becomes easier. Inhibitions fade. You talk louder, maybe cross lines you wouldn't sober. Your body loses coordination, but your brain thinks everything's fine. Hours later, you're dehydrated and nauseous. The next morning brings the hangover. Your brain chemistry crashes completely. Regular drinking rewires your brain. Soon you're drinking just to feel normal. Long-term use damages your liver, weakens your heart, and increases cancer risk. It's legal, socially acceptable, and deadly. Nicotine. Nicotine is the second most used drug in America, found in cigarettes and vapes. Over 50 million Americans use it daily. When you inhale nicotine, it hits your brain within seconds and releases dopamine, making you feel calm and focused. At first, it feels perfect. Your heart rate rises slightly. Thoughts clear up and stress melts away, but nicotine burns out quickly. Within 30 minutes, calm turns into tension and irritability. You crave another hit. That's the trap. Each cigarette gives temporary relief from discomfort the last one created. Nicotine doesn't relax you. It just resets withdrawal. Your brain learns that peace only exists between cravings. Without nicotine, everything feels dull. Smoking destroys your lungs and causes cancer. Vaping damages them differently, but just as severely. Marijuana. Marijuana is the most commonly used illegal drug in America, though it's legal in many states. Around 50 million Americans use it regularly. The main ingredient is THC, which affects how your brain processes mood and memory. When you smoke it, THC binds to receptors in your brain. Within minutes, time slows down. Colors become more vivid. Music sounds richer. Everything feels funnier, warmer, softer. Your body feels heavy. Hunger hits hard. The famous munchies. Some people feel relaxed and creative. Others spiral into paranoia and anxiety. The high lasts a few hours before fading into tiredness and brain fog. Regular use dulls motivation and messes with short-term memory. Heavy users struggle with focus. It quietly reshapes how your brain rewards relaxation. What starts as occasional fun becomes a daily habit. Prescription opioids. Prescription opioids like oxycodone, Vicodin, and Percocet are painkillers doctors prescribe after surgeries or injuries. They're chemically similar to heroin. Millions of Americans take them, and millions become addicted. When you swallow a pill, opioids flood your brain's pain receptors and block all discomfort. Physical pain disappears. Emotional pain fades. Stress melts away. You feel warm, calm, safe. Everything that hurt before stops hurting. That's why they're so dangerous. Your brain remembers that feeling. When the prescription runs out, the pain comes back worse. You need more pills just to feel normal. Tolerance builds fast. Then you're calling multiple doctors for refills. Then buying pills illegally. Withdrawal is brutal. Muscle aches, nausea, vomiting, insomnia, sweating, bone-deep misery. Many people who get hooked eventually switch to heroin because it's cheaper. This is how the opioid epidemic started. Legal pills destroyed millions of lives. Cocaine. Cocaine is one of the most popular illegal drugs in America. Around 5 million people use it regularly. It's a powerful stimulant that comes as a white powder people snort. The moment it hits your bloodstream, your brain floods with dopamine at dangerous levels. Within seconds, confidence explodes. Energy surges. You feel brilliant, unstoppable, like the best version of yourself. Words flow effortlessly. Your heart pounds. Pupils dilate. Every idea seems genius. You feel like you can conquer the world, but the high burns out fast, usually within 30 to 45 minutes. As dopamine crashes, so does everything else. Anxiety floods in. Paranoia creeps up. You feel empty, irritable, desperate. The only thing that fixes it is another line. Your brain quickly learns to crave that dopamine spike. Before long, you're chasing a high that never quite returns. The crash gets worse every time. Cocaine rewires your reward system until normal pleasure becomes impossible. MDMA. MDMA, commonly called Molly or ecstasy, is a synthetic drug popular at raves, festivals, and clubs. Millions of Americans use it recreationally. It floods your brain with serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, the chemicals that make you feel happy and connected. Within an hour of swallowing a pill or powder, waves of euphoria wash over you. Everything feels intense. Music becomes transcendent. Touch feels electric. You feel overwhelming love for everyone around you, even strangers. Barriers dissolve. You dance for hours without getting tired. Your jaw clenches involuntarily. Your body temperature rises dangerously. But MDMA drains your brain's serotonin completely. When the high ends after 4 to 6 hours, the crash is devastating. Depression, exhaustion, and emotional emptiness replace the euphoria. Your brain can't produce happiness naturally for days afterward. Some people feel suicidal during the come down. Use it too often, and you permanently damage the neurons that produce serotonin, making natural joy harder to feel. Heroin. Heroin is at the center of America's opioid crisis. Hundreds of thousands of people are addicted to it. It's made from morphine, which comes from opium poppies. People inject, snort, or smoke it. The moment it enters your bloodstream, heroin converts to morphine and floods your brain's opioid receptors. A wave of intense euphoria rushes through you. All pain disappears, physical and emotional. Stress, fear, sadness, everything melts into warmth. Your body feels heavy and safe. You sink into a calm so deep it feels like being wrapped in the world's softest blanket. You drift in and out of consciousness. Breathing slows, heart rate drops. The high lasts several hours before the warmth fades and sickness replaces it. Heroin is viciously addictive. After just a few uses, your brain is chemically rewritten. Stopping brings brutal withdrawal, muscle pain, vomiting, sweating, insomnia, unbearable discomfort. Your brain needs the drug just to function normally. Overdose is extremely common because tolerance builds fast. And now most street heroin is mixed with fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times stronger. One bad batch kills you instantly. Methamphetamine. Methamphetamine, or meth, is a devastating epidemic across rural and urban America. It's a synthetic stimulant that comes as crystals people smoke, snort, or inject. When it hits your brain, it releases massive amounts of dopamine and keeps flooding your system for up to 12 hours. You feel invincible. Energy explodes through your body. You don't need food, water, or sleep. Your mind races at impossible speed. Tasks that normally bore you become fascinating. You can focus intensely for hours. But that energy is borrowed. Your body is running on fumes while your brain chemistry collapses. The crash is devastating. Paranoia sets in. Hallucinations develop. Users see shadow people or feel bugs crawling under their skin. They pick at their face and arms until they bleed. Long-term use destroys your teeth, ages your face decades and months, and causes permanent brain damage. Meth doesn't just hook your brain. It hijacks your survival instincts until the drug feels more important than staying alive. Prescription stimulants. Prescription stimulants like Adderall and Ritalin are medications designed to treat ADHD, but millions of Americans abuse them as study drugs or productivity enhancers. They're amphetamines, chemically similar to meth but weaker. When you take them, they increase dopamine and norepinephrine in your brain. Focus sharpens instantly. Energy surges. You can study for 12 hours straight. Tasks become easier. Productivity skyrockets. That's why college students, professionals, and high schoolers abuse them constantly. But your brain adapts. Tolerance builds. You need higher doses to get the same focus. Without the pills, you can't concentrate at all. Your natural motivation disappears. You feel foggy and useless. Sleep becomes impossible. Appetite vanishes. Anxiety spikes. Your heart pounds constantly. Long-term abuse causes paranoia, aggression, and heart problems. People think prescription means safe. It doesn't. These are controlled substances for a reason. Abuse them, and you're on the same path as any other stimulant addiction. Benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines like Xanax, Valium, and Klonopin are prescription medications for anxiety and panic disorders. Millions of Americans take them, and millions abuse them. They work by enhancing GABA, the brain chemical that calms everything down. Within 20 minutes of swallowing a pill, anxiety dissolves. Your muscles relax completely. Worry evaporates. Everything feels manageable. Higher doses bring euphoria and memory blackouts. You might lose hours with no recollection of what you did. People drive, make terrible decisions, hurt themselves or others, and remember nothing. Benzos are extremely addictive. Tolerance builds fast, so you need more to feel calm. The real danger is mixing them with alcohol or opioids, which can stop your breathing and kill you. Withdrawal from benzos is one of the most dangerous drug withdrawals. Stopping suddenly can cause seizures, psychosis, and death. Your brain becomes dependent on the chemical assistance and can't regulate anxiety on its own anymore. What started as prescribed relief becomes a trap you can't escape without medical supervision.